Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today you're probably here watching because you're thinking about doing Ragbrai, or you've done Ragbrai and you're thinking about some gear and equipment, because today I'm going to show you what we took along with us last year for Ragbrai 50 and tell you what we thought about it. Here we go. Alright, so of course we had to start with bikes. We didn't have bikes beforehand, so I got us both Trek Damani AL2s, just looked up endurance road bikes, liked the stats, and that's what we went with. But we couldn't stop there. We had to get a couple water bottle cages, two for sure, and then we needed something to take stuff with us on the road. So we got these Toe Peak saddlebags, and since there was two of us, we kind of split up the gear. Marshall had like service equipment, so we got a multi-tool, another thing that we got and prepped for Ragbrai. And then, hey, here's your sunglasses you couldn't find. Sunglasses, definitely a must-have, and spare inner tubes. So that was kind of primarily what Marshall carried in his, and then of course I had one on my bike as well. So let me grab my bike and I'll show you how I had mine set up. Alright, so I had my bike set up pretty similarly. The two water bottles, the Toe Peak bag, but I also put on a little roadside pump. See if I can get it out of here without... There we go. But I kind of looked this one up. It doesn't have a gauge on it. They do make a model with a gauge, but I like it because it's kind of like a little floor pump. Got this little, I haven't messed with this thing since last year, but that little thing that comes out there, and I think, if I remember right, the handle, oh yeah, folds out like so. So, kind of like a little floor pump. You sit there and pump up your bike. Opposed to just the ones you have to sit there and hold on to. Okay, and then while Marshall carried the like repair equipment in his bag, I had my phone in my bag, along with like liquid IV for hydration, and I don't know, the gel goo. I carried our money for the day in a plastic Ziploc bag. Let's see, I think I had some sunscreen, chamois butter, just stuff that we would need on a regular basis is primarily what I carried in my bag. Alright, so now we'll kind of get through it, and I'll excuse me, cough on camera. Kind of talk about each of the little things that we use to get us through the day. Just in case you're not familiar with cycling, chamois shorts I thought were a must. You weren't so reliant on them like you. I think we're kind of hit and miss. But the thing about chamois shorts is, of course, they have the padded chamois inside the shorts to give you a little bit of cushion against your seat. I'm not going to go into all the technical details of why you do or don't want a cushiony seat. I'll let you research that on your own. But I thought chamois shorts a must. I kind of felt for the full day of being on the bike, I wanted him to wear them too, and I think they helped. And then to go right alongside the chamois shorts, chamois butter. It's really just I'll tell you, anti-chafe cream. That's exactly what it is. So get it all up in your dangly bits to keep the friction down so you don't get chafing, which if you're going to be on the bike all day long for a solid week, you definitely want to keep that under control. Let's see here next. Sunblock. I started out with the Copper Tone Complete. We're kind of relatively light-skinned or fair-skinned, so sunblock was a must for us. And it also ended up being the crux of our trip, because didn't really know it ahead of time, but this guy was completely allergic to this stuff. Broke out in a really less than pleasant, we'll call it, rash I remember, I think it was our second morning, you were talking about how itchy you were, and I mean, not just his arms, but on his face, everywhere we put the sunblock, basically. So that was not a good thing for us. Find a sunblock you're not allergic to. Next, as far as wearable equipment, we got these Halo headbands with the neck shade. That way we didn't have to slather sunscreen all over our neck or keep reapplying it. And I thought they worked pretty good. I don't think either of us really got sunburn on our neck. Bike helmets. Of course, we got these when we got the bikes. I kind of went with about the best deal I could find. Cannondale. They got the little caution light on back with 3 different settings. So if you get an early start in the morning or you're out a little bit later at night, definitely good for visibility. Let's see. And then obviously you can see I'm wearing glasses. Sometimes I wear contacts, but I went ahead and got a thing of prescription sunglasses because, again, we're going to be on the road all day long, and we camped. So I should preface, we camped, we had a support driver, we didn't have to use the baggage trucks. But anyways, back at camp, I didn't want to mess with taking contacts in and out, so I just switched between the prescription glasses and my regular glasses. It gets to be a little bit of a pain when you go inside like a convenience store or something like that on the road and your sunglasses are all dark, but I took both with me in that Toe Peak saddlebag, was able to switch out when I remembered. SPF lip balm, also necessary for us. The bad thing that I found, or the challenge, neither of us really wear lip balm on a regular basis, so forgot to apply it. My lips definitely got sunburned by the second day, swole up. It wasn't horrible. I mean, it was not a good experience, but it wasn't detrimental either. Let's see here. Energy gel. I don't think we were relying on it. Like, I don't remember if we actually even used it. Did we try it before the ride, or did we use it on the ride?
I think we might have used it before.
We used it before. You thought it was garbage. You don't really like it. And I don't think he really needed it, but got it for kind of a just in case. And then the liquid IV drink mix. Yeah, those are, they taste pretty good. And then you got your electrolytes in them too, which, I mean, it was hot last year. So hot, sweaty, just keeping those electrolytes up was probably a good thing. So I had several packets of this stored in my Toe Peak bag as well. Cell phone, I already mentioned, that went in the Toe Peak bag. Riding gloves, definitely will help keep your hands from getting sunburnt. Give you a little bit of cushion as well on the ride. Sleeves, we both had sleeves to kind of help keep the sun off our arms. You perspire, the sleeves get damp, and gives you a little bit of a cooling effect on the ride too. So that wasn't horrible. And then also in my Toe Peak bag had some hand sanitizer. Someone was actually giving out hand sanitizer, I think at the expo is where I got this one. So that was a cool freebie that I threw in the bag. A couple of Band-Aids, because you don't know when you're going to need Band-Aids. And let's see, I didn't talk about it, but we did take the floor pump that was used to, just in the mornings, every morning, because it has the pressure gauge on it. So you can keep our tires inflated to proper pressures. And then power packs or battery banks. I snagged a couple of these on clearance at Walmart. You can see it's a big bulky one, so that's probably why it was on clearance. But back at the tent, at the campgrounds, they work great. Let's see here. And then this, I picked up a fanny pack, just a cheapo fanny pack at Walmart. I didn't use it on the ride. I picked this up after the ride, which I'm definitely going to take with us this upcoming year. Just because to keep, like, some of this stuff in, and then money. So every time that we did decide to stop and get something to eat, I had to take the cash out of my toe peak bag. I didn't have pockets in the chamois, and then just wearing a t-shirt, so we had to carry around all the cash in a Ziploc bag all the time. Like, it would be nice just to shove it in a pocket, so pocket on the go, right? Moving right along, so I don't keep you guys forever. Kind of get into camping. So we just got a couple of cheap sleeping bags from Walmart. Same thing with the tent. We went with the Carlsbad fast pitch tent. A little bit of bug spray. You really don't need it during the daytime. I think in the evenings is when the bugs came out. And then, of course, a battery operated fan, which was a lifesaver last year. That thing was great to help move the air inside the tent, keep us somewhat cool. So this was us shortly after getting set up on Expo Day, just hanging out in the tent using the fan to keep us cool. And I think our last thing would be our cots. So since we had a support driver, someone going ahead of us to pitch our tent, we also had a cot for each of us. This is the Coleman Trailhead, kind of like an old army cot. And after a day on the bike, I thought they were pretty comfortable. Like, it's not a mattress, but you throw your sleeping bag on it, and the sleeping bags were definitely not needed to keep warm, really. I think it cooled off a little bit at night, and maybe you kind of draped it over you, but it's not something you had to huddle in tight to. But like I say, I think that's pretty much everything that we kind of needed for the ride. Can you think of anything we were missing?
Not really.
Yeah, I think we used everything too. I don't think, like I say, the fanny pack was the only thing that I didn't have on the ride that I thought, man, I really need that.
Insulated water bottles.
Yeah, the insulated water bottles help keep the water cool a little bit longer than a non-insulated bottle. But I think that's it, guys. Yeah, if you have any thoughts, feel free to share them. Is there anything that you did different or you think would be a little bit easier to use on the ride, or did I give you any ideas? I hope if you're thinking about it, I did. There's a lot of little things that you kind of need that you don't think to carry with you. Like I said, the lip balm application, I wish I would have remembered and I wouldn't have had sunburnt lips. But otherwise, yeah, like always, thank you for watching. Hope to see you out there.